thing I love about National Mentoring Month is it gives us all an opportunity to reflect on what impact mentors have had in our lives and what impact we are having in other people's lives. Hi, I'm Julie, CEO of To Mentor. We stand up corporate mentoring initiatives and university mentoring initiatives. So today I want to talk with you a little bit about what do I look for when I'm reaching out, trying to find a good mentor or good mentoring advice. So to do this, I realized I've had a lot of good mentors. So I want to take a little piece of each of them and share it with you. I would say the first mentor that comes to mind is a fellow board member from a charity that I'm involved with, Active Minds, Paul. I went and stayed with Paul and his partner before a board meeting, and Paul just sits there and asks compelling questions. He doesn't forget anything that I said a year ago or 2 years ago. He has questions and he's curious, and he asks a lot of questions before giving some feedback and advice. He's really a natural coach slash mentor. And the next person I think about is Tien Wong. One thing about Tien is he's been there, done that. He's been an entrepreneur. He runs an ecosystem of entrepreneurs in the greater Washington area and investors. So in my early years, I would contact him about advice or where I really hit a stumbling block. And I know his feedback was coming from been there, done that, what he sees out there, trends. And he was so generous in sharing thoughts with me in a very direct and honest way, communicating in a way others were not necessarily communicate, with directedness and, again, knowledge of the field of entrepreneurship that I was in. Whenever I'm challenged, my mom will help me, Joan, sit down and see the positive of a situation. But the other thing is having a friend or a relative that knows you then and now, knows your strengths, knows your weaknesses, knows where you have a history or pattern that they can point out to you. It helps that my mom is a couples family therapist. So she can see patterns and has nomenclature that can help me see beyond challenges and be optimistic. And most importantly, get back to believing in myself. An old boss of mine, when I was at STEM Connector, Edie, pushed us to go beyond our own limits, to have metrics of success, and was pretty relentless that we came to the table every week, every month with traction. And we would often try to be a step ahead of her in our reporting, so that, especially in sales, so that she could help us to the next level of our process, but also, again, just be really organized, and then we'd be in a better position to, I'll call it, manage the leader, rather than be managed by the leader, which equated to a lot of professional freedom. So Edie had very high expectations of all of us, but also was incredibly appreciative of all of us. And that was a nice combination. And peer mentoring, I think of Jen. Jen and I would sit down, and wherever one of us was challenged, we would share that. The other person would give feedback. And the thing I loved about Jen was there was no judgment there. I could be completely authentically myself, with my strengths, with my weaknesses. She'd be curious, ask questions, and I would always leave the conversations feeling better, feeling that passion creep back up inside me for what I was doing. She has incredible background in HR, diversity, people. So she had knowledge about the industry of that I had built my business around. And I felt that she had many, many years more experience than I did, but I never, ever felt she was talking from a place of arrogance. I always thought and felt that we could help each other in a peer mentoring capacity. So again, some of the ingredients that I'm bringing up for what I look for in a good mentor: positivity, ask good questions, a good listener, non-judgmental, available, willing to meet you where you are, understands your challenge, has industry perspective. And those are some initial, and then one other thing with Jen is she was very willing to introduce me to people. She believed in me and was very open as we worked together to introduce my company, me, to other people, and it led to so she sponsored us. A mentor speaks with you, a sponsor speaks about you behind closed doors and champions you to others. And she really became not only a good friend, but a mentor and a sponsor to me, which I'm incredibly grateful and do not take for granted at all. So I want you to think about your mentors in your lives and what are the ingredients and where you might need more mentoring help as you evolve spiritually, personally, professionally. This is a good time to reach out to others and think about the qualities I shared. Are there others that you feel are really important that you want to list here? And then lastly, how do you pay it forward? How do I give all these qualities the benefit of having mentors to other people in my life? Thank you, and happy National Mentoring Month.